Hello, beautiful soul family. Rebecca here, your vibe mentor. And this continues to be the space for conscious, purpose driven entrepreneurs who are looking to remove the blocks that hold you back from your purpose so that you can manifest abundance through it. Welcome to the Monday Magic. Excited to be with you as always. It has been very interesting energy, and that is what we are here for in this segment, if you will, to discuss what have we been experiencing, what is the quality of the current energy, and what are the recommendations moving forward. So the first thing that came through when I was tapping into what are we experiencing right now, the phrase was big energy is coming in hot. And it feels like it's been that way for a while, for a couple of weeks now. There has been a lot of solar activity. There has been a lot of peaks and valleys for many people energetically. There's been plenty of fatigue and exhaustion and even feeling ill. And there's also been riding the highs, feeling amazing, feeling elation and bliss and love. And it's very fascinating how it's almost as if we hold space for each other, that while some of us are feeling the challenge, others of us are feeling extremely amazing and awesome. And I do want to start to be careful around planting seeds that there has to be difficulty through these sessions or through these deliveries, right? The Monday Magic intuitive energy reading is designed to be a way to let you know that you are not alone in this, to affirm some of the things that you have experienced and let you know that many of us are also experiencing it. And yet now I need to start to be careful because I have noticed that in my own efforts to cultivate my own energy, that I will rise above some of the ascension symptoms or some of the challenges that are being offered or are available because of the energy, but are not necessarily a prescription, that you don't necessarily have to experience the difficulty, that if you're really, really focused on maintaining a high vibration, you can step into the bliss and the joy aspect of the energy. Now, I will also say that when I was in the corporate world, when I was in the 9 to 5 grind, when I was in the hustle and grind culture, when I was trapped in the debt slavery system, it was much more difficult. That only because now I'm in a place where I can rest when my body says rest. I can choose to spend 2 hours in cultivating my energy every day before I start to dive into the tangible work. And that does make a huge difference. So just know as I go through this, just because it is happening to many around us doesn't mean that you will necessarily have to feel the difficulty of the energy. If you are very diligently and meticulously cultivating your energy every day, you absolutely can rise above what the collective is feeling. That's kind of the whole point, isn't it? This is what we're doing here on this channel. This is what we're doing here on this planet at this time. That is the whole name of the game, right? So big energy is coming in hot doesn't necessarily mean negative or positive. I will say though, there was a lot of frantic people this morning, frantic communication, frantic panic over nothing. Some of the groups that I'm in, we've got a dance moms group, and there was a $2 discount offered for some of us, and people felt that if they didn't get on the phone right at 8 o'clock, that they were going to miss out on the best seats in the house. And really, it was just a $2 discount. People were calling 170 times before they finally got through on the line to buy their tickets. And it just, that you can sense the over agitation, the over exaggeration, the activation that is happening there, in that dysregulated nervous system state, just feeling like there's something that's got to be accomplished, that I have to be the first to sit in the front row. And in fact, there actually was no seating benefit to calling early. And so that's just one example of how you may have witnessed the frantic energy around you. It certainly will happen in many different ways for many of us. Sorry, my sticky note fell down. So that's where I'm looking, and that's what just dropped down, and I had to correct. Just know that it's almost as if big things are happening, whether perceived or otherwise. It's that the bigness of the energy, the expansion of the energy, which actually makes me think of Jupiter, which is really interesting because Jupiter is going into Taurus tomorrow. And that is, the planet of expansion. So that would make some sense. That would make a lot of sense, in fact, for it to be resting at that 29th degree. It's sort of an anaretic degree, which means just amplified in and of itself, and it's already the planet of amplification. So we're moving into Taurus tomorrow. So we're sort of seeing the last of the bigness of its old sign, and it's verging into the new sign. So many highs and lows over the last 2 weeks. I think it could be pretty exhausting for many of us. Solar energies are for some of us more palpable, more challenging. Sometimes, like I said, it can bring high highs or it can bring low lows. Extreme exhaustion was a theme continued for the last 2 weeks. It's interesting because there have been big waves of energy that some of us are I guess you'd say qualifying as undetectables, right? It's not measuring on the KP index. It's not measuring on the Schumann resonance. There's no visible or measurable energy coming in, and yet we are like the canaries in the coal mine, where we feel it. We know it's coming, and sometimes we are the measurement tool itself. And then, of course, comes with that the big physical symptoms. And there was a couple, I would say, in the last 72 hours. I do always film these on the Mondays. I do not ever pre-schedule this to make sure that it is live in the moment energy reading. The big headaches for me last week, which I will acknowledge oftentimes if I have not been eating as clean as I normally would, or if I had a glass of wine, I will definitely feel the symptoms far more amplified than I would have had I stuck with my very, very clean eating and drinking. Vomiting was something that was being discussed in other groups. I did not feel this until Saturday. Didn't quite come to that point, but it was the nausea. It was not quite feeling settled in the stomach, and so that's a new one. That's not something that I've ever experienced before. So, again, just the amplification and the bigness of the energy. And it was interesting because at the same time, I could still feel very, very optimistic, very, very positive, just absolute assurance that everything's right where we should be. Everything's right on track. Everything's right on time. It's going to be good. It's going to be better than we ever could have dreamed or imagined. I wrote it down as big love energy, and just feeling like everything's right with the world, all while feeling a headache and a little bit of nausea. It just really feels like everything is working out perfectly. Everything is always working in my favor, right? And not everything always is happening for my good, as if I should feel gratitude for something that's difficult, but rather just everything's always working out for me, and reaffirming that, wow, everything always works out for me, right? It's the lucky girl syndrome, right? Just constant reaffirming. That is part of that meticulous energy management, that raising your vibration. Remember, the tide rises all boats. So we don't just do this for ourselves so that we can manifest or so that we can be happy, but we are lifting the collective when we raise our own vibration. This theme just continues throughout my notes. It says big expansion for sure, and there's even big distraction in the big expansion. It's almost as if everything is expanding, and we have to be discerning in where we put our attention, because not everything that is expanding is deserving of our attention or our focus. So really watch and prioritize your energy, prioritize your focus. As an example, in business, it can be easy to get pulled into a lot of other little things that are going to distract you from your main priority. And it can be a very helpful question to continue to always ask, is this serving the highest priority, right? If I were in the corporate world, is this making us money? Is this going to return on our investment, right? So is the place that you are putting your focus and attention going to give you a return on your investment? Or are you just being pulled in a million different directions because of the expansion of the energy, right? Because of the ascension symptoms, or maybe because you didn't sleep well, right? Or because, the phone has a tendency to do that to our brains. And so we need a screen detox or a dopamine detox. It also can be challenging to stay steady, stay focused, be the focused one, be the calm one, be the anchored one, be the grounded one. to hold the stillness in the eye of the storm is very much in the vein of the recommendations that have come through over the last couple of weeks is hold the line, hold the light, hold the stillness, be the grounded one, be the anchor in the good, the anchor in the future, the anchor in the energy and the highest vibration, so that we can collectively entrain to the stillness in the eye of the storm. That if one person starts to panic and then somebody else says, oh, they're panicking, I should panic too, right? It's kind of like sheep. They literally will run right off a cliff. They will follow each other to their death unless someone, the goat, the goat in the middle of the herd, holds still. And then there's a question. One's panicking and one's holding still. Where do I want to go? Right? Like clocks on a wall will entrain to each other. Their nervous system will sense your nervous system. It opens the door to an option. It's like the light or the flashlight in the darkness, shining light on another potential. So notice, what is the source of what you're feeling? Are you feeling activation because of everything around you? Or are you tapped into your source, the source? What is your source? This was the question that was prompted for today. What or who? Who, it, he, she, it, they, them. What is your source? Many times we can get confused and think that our physical relationships are the source of love, or our job is the source of income. And we put so much pressure on these other things to deliver something that is inherently already yours. That when we keep our eyes on God, on the source, we can hold and maintain that vibration, that nervous system state that allows others to see the way and also relieves them of the pressure. If you think about in this line of work, in coaching or in course creation or YouTubing or however you want to look at it, if you're reliant on you, the viewer, the client, the course sale, if you're looking to them as your source of income, your source of survival, your source of success, that's not an accurate or reasonable expectation. It's not an accurate perspective. No one can carry the weight. That's interesting. Words are a challenge today. No one can carry that weight. Even if you go into a romantic relationship and you look to the other as your source for everything, you complete me, right? You are my better half. That's too much weight. The relationship will crumble under that kind of pressure. That's why it doesn't work. That's why we have to be whole in and of ourselves, so that when we come together, we are the cherry on the top of the sundae instead of filling a void that we can't. So we are able to start to enjoy life. I'm able to just be here with you and pour my heart out into these videos, pour my heart into my clients and my courses, and offer free sessions, because you are not my source. My creator is my source, and I will always be cared for, and I will always be provided for. So start to delineate between source and resource, right? Your creator is your source, using the resources around you as an avenue to deliver your inherent abundance. So you get to choose and get really clear on what you're choosing here. That when you choose to recognize the abundant source, the true source, you also choose happiness, freedom, faith, peace, a peace that passes all understanding. Makes no sense. It's illogical. And ultimately, you choose abundance of all kinds. So get really clear. When you choose to see the truth of your source, then you will stand still in the eye of the storm. Then you will know there is never, without exception, a reason to be frantic or panicked, sad or depressed, scared or lonely, afraid, nervous, any of it. Because you are one with the source of all that is, made in the likeness of your creator, inherently abundant and forever cared for. All right. It's going to get good. It really feels like there's something big around the corner. And I've said that a couple times, but it feels like it's go time. It really feels like this week, next week, we could see some big shifts and changes. So be prepared, be ready, keep your eyes on your source. Oh, yes. And before I go, I wanted to remind you, we have the More Than Enough Mastermind coming up on June 6th. I'm so excited to do this for the first time ever. We are compressing what should take a full year into 8 weeks. And so we will not only amplify your healing, remove the blocks that are holding you back from your purpose and manifesting abundance, but also teach you not only how to heal yourself, but how to heal others. So if you join us for the More Than Enough Mastermind, I promise you, you will remove 6 of the most common trauma responses or conditioning and programming that holds you back from your purpose, makes you fear rejection or being seen or showing up or shining brightly or whatever your flavor of the block is. And also you will leave a certified trauma spotting practitioner. And I am so excited because we are going to catapult the new earth construction team into the future, into the awakening, into healing and helping others do the same. So join us for the More Than Enough Mastermind coming June 6th. Check out the link below. I'm so excited to see you all there. I love you guys and take care. Namaste.